beauty is so much more than that, because we're all made uniquely for a reason. We're all made differently for a reason. Hi everyone, my name is Sonya Danita Charles. I'm a marketer and a freelance model. So my vitiligo started when I was 8 years old, but it only started developing further at around the age of 12, 13, I would say. So high school really was the peak of it. Obviously, when I was younger, it was a lot harder because, there was bullying in school, and because it's not something that is known here in Malaysia, you don't really see a lot of people with it. So there's a lot of people who don't know what it is. Ideally, what I wanted to do is I wanted to use my voice to really raise awareness on it and to educate people on it, and also to educate people on learning to be kinder and compassionate human beings, especially when they approach someone else who looks different. It doesn't necessarily have to be a skin thing, but it could be anyone who looks different in general. I feel like for too long people are always told that, oh, if you want to be a model, you must only look like this. You must have perfect skin, you must have perfect hair, your body has to be a certain shape. But for me, I feel like beauty is so much more than that, because we're all made uniquely for a reason. We're all made differently for a reason. It's always been something that I've wanted to try. Growing up, I've had people tell me that, you have the height of the model, but not necessarily the look of one. I told myself, I really want to try this, and I also want to show people that models are everyday people too. You don't necessarily have to look like what the models do in magazines, but there's so many different definitions of it. It's basically who you are and what you are able to bring to the table. So my advice to people who are struggling is to firstly learn to love yourself and understand yourself better, and to always remember that how other people choose to see you and what they think about you is not important, because at the end of the day, it's how you choose to see yourself and how you think of yourself. Life is hard, you have your struggles and whatnot, but what's important is to always remember that you have to overcome that, and you have to be willing to put in the effort so that you yourself can live your best life. And just always do what makes you happy, because at the end of the day, we only get one chance at this, so you might as well make it worth it.
Hello everyone, I am Sunita and this is Sonya, and we are your hosts for today's live tutorial. We are cooking a Mutton Peretal today, and because October is Body Positivity Month, we are also promoting body acceptance.
Hi guys, my name is Sonya. So I will be cooking alongside my mom today. I'm a marketer, freelance model, and the founder of Vitiligo Association Malaysia. So what I have is basically known as vitiligo, which started at the age of 8 years old, and it only started developing further at the age of 12 to 13. So I would say it really progressed more in my teens. So my goal is to educate people on self-love and confidence, and to teach people to embrace themselves, because I strongly believe that everybody is made differently for a reason. So it's important for us to show that same kindness towards ourselves, the same way we show love and compassion towards other people.
I am so proud of you. I cannot express how super proud I am of this gorgeous daughter of mine. So let's show you what are the ingredients we're going to be cooking with today. Since Deepavali is coming up, Mutton Peretal is quite a popular dish during this festival. So let me show you what we have here. We have fennel, white dal, cumin, mustard seeds, cloves, cardamom seeds, star anise, cinnamon, and then we also have ground ginger garlic paste, coriander for garnish later, chili powder, meat curry powder, cumin powder, fennel powder, salt, sugar, and large onions. All right. So we are going to be cooking this Peratal in the Thermomix. So it's really easy to cook with the Thermomix, because when I used to cook it before, Sonya, I think you know.
I remember when she used to cook this dish prior to having the Thermomix. She used to have to stand by the stove for hours, constantly stirring, and I think that's one of the many things that sort of disinterested me in cooking. However, I noticed that ever since she got the Thermomix, it's become a lot easier because you can sort of just put everything into the machine and it does all the hard work for you, so you don't have to worry about oil splattering everywhere. You don't have to worry about constantly having to stir your dish, or if you're like me and you're a newbie at cooking, you don't have to worry about burning your dish.
Yeah, so let's get into cooking. Okay, so we are going to start with placing the spices into the Thermomix. So I'm going to put in the mustard seeds, the cumin, the white dal. So this recipe will be uploaded on Cookidoo. Fennel, cloves, cardamom seeds, star anise, and cinnamon. Okay, so Indian cooking uses a lot of spices, as you can see. So now I'm going to add in the oil. And I'm going to add in the sliced large onions, and also the curry leaves. Okay, so this we are now going to saute, right? So previously when I'm cooking this on the stove, I would normally pour in the oil, and then you have to add all your spices in first. And those who have cooked Indian food and used mustard seeds, you know how it will pop and splatter. And invariably, you always have some marks on your hands because of the splatter. So with the Thermomix, it's super easy. Everything is contained inside the bowl. And we're going to set it now for 12 minutes. At 120 degrees, which is the normal saute temperature for the Thermomix. And we're going to set it to reverse, speed 1. Okay, so you might be wondering why 12 minutes to saute, but the reason being the Thermomix has perfect temperature control at 120. You do not have to worry about it burning. You don't have to worry. You don't have to stand and stir. Like I said, no splatter at all.
So besides cooking this dish manually, is there a way for us to save the recipe and the cooking instructions into the Thermomix itself, so that I don't have to remember it, and anyone who would like to try your recipe, they can try it on their own?
Okay, so this recipe is going to be on Cookidoo soon. But if it's just for my own use, I actually have it saved under my created recipes, which is a feature in Cookidoo. So you just go into the screen and into my recipes, created recipes, and then I can pull up my Mutton Peretal recipe, which I have saved in here. It will show the Mutton Peretal recipe, and it shows that the creator is myself. It has my name on it. So I can actually use the guided cooking from Cookidoo to do my Mutton Peretal on my own machine. But once it's uploaded into the Cookidoo platform, everyone all over the world will be able to cook this recipe.
So when they view the recipe, is there a way for them to adapt it and then, synchronize it into their own Cookidoo account in their TM6?
Yes. So you can save it, and we also have an app for Cookidoo.
Oh, there's an app?
Yep, there is an app, And this is what the app looks like. So, I mean, everything's on your phone now, right? So you just save it into your app and then you can just follow it. So you can even meal plan. With Cookidoo, you can meal plan for the week. You can meal plan for a whole month. So you set your recipes in and you just say, okay, I want to cook this mutton dish next week, Thursday, and I can set it in the calendar on Cookidoo and then I can cook it. So it's not a problem at all. It's really, really easy. Cookidoo has a feature where you can select the portion control. So you can choose whether you're cooking it for 2 people, 4 people, 6 people. You can adapt the recipe in Cookidoo itself, and it will automatically portion the ingredients for you, so you don't have to worry about working out how much you need to put.
So how many recipes do people get when they buy their Thermomix?
Okay, so when you buy your Thermomix, you actually have access to 80 over 1,000 recipes.
That's a lot of recipes.
Even I haven't tried all of them. So Cookidoo comes with a free 6-month subscription, which means that you can actually try out all the recipes that you like and then decide after the 6 months whether you want to continue with the subscription. But for me, it's pretty much a no-brainer because having access to 80,000 recipes and being able to cook any type of cuisine, whether it's Western, whether it's Eastern or Indian or Chinese, it's so easy.
So it looks like our first step is almost done. So what are we going to be putting in with the next one? So we've got the the goat shoulder. Yes,
Yeah,
the shoulder part of the goat. My bad, guys. And then you've got potatoes, right?
Yes.
And this is?
This is coriander leaves.
Okay.
And then we've got the garlic ginger paste. So the garlic ginger paste that we are using, the recipe for this is already on Cookidoo, and that recipe was contributed by me as well. So it just makes life a whole lot easier. Okay, so the trick to this garlic ginger paste is equal portions of garlic and ginger that you blend together.
In your Thermomix.
Yes, in the Thermomix, obviously. And what I usually do is I put it into silicone ice cube trays and freeze them. And once they're frozen, we take out the cubes and put it in a Ziploc bag and keep it in the freezer. So it's ready for use at any time. Super easy because for Indian cuisine, we use a lot of garlic and ginger in our curries, in our peratals, in most of the cooking. So having that available easily is a plus point.
So what was your inspiration behind this recipe? Was it something that you found and then sort of adapted it according to your own liking, or is it something that your mom used to cook?
So this recipe is actually what Nanny, my mother, used to cook. And I learned it from her, and like I said, you know, I used to cook it traditionally over the stove before. And when I finally was introduced to the Thermomix, I decided I would adapt it to the Thermomix. And wow, I mean, it was just like a whole lot easier. You know, no splatter especially. And I can just leave it to cook and not worry. So the time that it takes for the mutton to cook, I can watch my K-dramas and, you know, spend my time. Okay.
Looks like your first step is done.
We're already ready now. So let's see. And as you can see,
it smells so good.
Yeah, the Thermomix really, you know, caramelizes everything so well. So I'm just going to push all the ingredients down.
So we're starting with
add the mutton.
Goat.
Yes, the goat. So these are pieces that have been cubed.
So for this portion, how many people are, how many people is
This
it
will
for?
serve about 6.
Okay, nice.
About 6 people. I mean, you know how we always have people over at home, right? So always cooking for a lot of people. I mean, we already have 7 of us. Right, so we've put the mutton in and we're going to add the coconut milk. And after that, we're going to add in some water.
Yeah.
And we're going to put in the ginger garlic paste. So we've actually got 1.5 kilos of mutton here, and that's really good because that's the quantity that you can actually cook in the Thermomix, right, without worrying. Chili powder. So the chili powder, we are using about 50 grams here, but you can adjust this to your own personal taste. You might not want it so spicy. And the other thing to note is that different brands of chili powder have different levels of hotness. So please do be careful when you are picking out your chili powder because some packets will say extra hot. So it's entirely up to your personal preference. And then we've got meat curry powder. We've got fennel and cumin powder. So I'm just going to add in half the amount now.
Pepper and salt.
Not pepper, that's... Okay, no, that one's for later. Right. I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to remove the MC, which is the measuring cup, and we're going to put the simmering basket on top and set the timer to 35 minutes. 100 degrees. Reverse spoon. So speed spoon is the slowest speed. Okay, so the Thermomix has got various speeds, and when you put it on speed spoon, it's only at 40 rounds per minute, which is extremely
why
slow.
Why is it on reverse?
Thermomix has got a sharp side to the blade and a blunt side. So when you put it on reverse, it actually goes anti-clockwise.
Okay.
And therefore, you don't get minced mutton, and it will stir at the slower speed. We have prepared another lot to show you, and I am going to bring it out to show you now. Let's see how it looks.
Looks so good, and it smells so good too.
We've still got a few more steps to go. So I am now going to add in the sugar. And the salt. And the remainder of the cumin and fennel powder. So we will put the simmering basket up on top, and we're going to now cook this for 10 minutes on 100 degrees, reverse speed spoon. So if you're wondering why I split the fennel and cumin powder into two additions, it actually makes a bit of a difference.
Okay.
I have noticed it because previously I used to just put it all in
at the same time.
And then I found that the flavor is a lot nicer when I add in the second lot after
it has cooked that 35
after it's
minutes.
cooked for the 35 minutes. Yes,
Okay,
correct.
Nice.
The other thing with Cookidoo is that you can save your recipes into separate collections on Cookidoo. So your collection and my collection would be entirely different. So you can set it. So like for me, the Mutton Peretal would maybe be under family favorites, but you could actually save it under mains, meat.
Oh, nice. So you can basically customize everything in the Thermomix.
In the Thermomix,
itself.
yes.
Oh, nice.
On the app or online or
on
even here on the machine.
Nice.
So it really can help you to sort out all the recipes, and it makes it a lot easier to search.
Okay.
When you want to look for something specific,
Very cool.
so you're not going through 80,000 recipes. So since we have the collections, I'm going to show you how we set it, right? So you just go into this top 3 lines here and my recipes, and then you can see I've got saved collections. So I can name my collections whatever I want.
Okay.
And I have quite a few already saved, so it makes it easier for me to
look
find.
Back. Nice.
And you can also bookmark certain recipes.
Okay. So like your favorite recipes that you cook
correct.
often and whatnot. Okay, nice.
So for bookmarking, normally what I do is they are mostly recipes that are not in English.
Okay.
Mainly Chinese recipes.
Okay.
So I bookmark them so that it's all in one place, and then I know, I find it using the picture because I can't search the name in Chinese.
Correct.
So I just bookmark it and then I look for it.
That's a really cool feature.
Yeah. So it really helps. I mean, they've done it in such a way that it makes it really easy for anyone to be able to cook.
Basically a smart machine.
Very. Super smart.
So the last step is we're going to be adding in the potatoes.
Yeah. So we'll add the potatoes and cook them first.
Okay. And this
for
one's
about
last?
10 minutes. This is more of a garnish, but I like to add it in and cook it for 2 minutes right into the mutton, because then it brings out the flavor of the coriander and it just gives it a whole new level of.
So overall, you would say to cook this particular dish, so at first you cooked it for 35 minutes.
Yes.
And then you added in the remainder powders and salt and sugar.
Right.
And then you're cooking it for another 10 minutes.
Yes.
And then you're going to add in the potatoes for
will
another
for
10 minutes.
Yep.
And then you have your...
For 2 minutes.
For 2
so
minutes.
even though the cooking time will be an hour, but you're not constantly standing and stirring, because
you can use that time to
do
get dressed up.
Yes.
Look good while you're cooking. You don't have to worry about oil splattering on your outfit or getting all sweaty or smelling like food.
So the best thing I like about the Thermomix is, like you mentioned earlier, we with mutton especially, it's a kind of meat that even though you use a non-stick cook pot or wok, it will still somehow stick. So every 5 minutes or so, you have to be constantly stirring it. And the Thermomix just does it automatically and seamlessly, and we can be chatting and I don't have to worry about, whether it's going to catch on the bottom. So it's really, really a good appliance to have. So everyone should seriously consider getting a Thermomix. And with Deepavali around the corner,
it will make cooking so much easier.
So we decided to do this Mutton Peretal because it's around the corner, and a lot of our Indian friends will be cooking mutton, etc.
Correct.
So it's a great time to get a Thermomix and ease up your Deepavali cooking, everyone. We're almost done.
So excited. Can't wait to taste it.
So now we're going to add in the potatoes.
So with the potatoes, people can add in as much as they like, right? Or do you need to follow a particular measurement?
Well, the Thermomix has a maximum mark, which is 2.2 liters. So we always try not to fill it over that. Yeah, so with the 1.5 kilos of meat and all the potatoes that are in this recipe, it's exactly at that level. So
Okay.
you're within the safe level
Okay.
zone.
So
right?
if they wanted to add more potatoes, they would just have to reduce
Reduce
on the
the
number
meat.
of meat, right?
Yeah, on
Okay.
the amount of the meat. Yes, correct. So now we're going to cook the potatoes for 10 minutes. Varoma. We're using Varoma temperature because we want to steam cook the potatoes as
Okay.
well as thicken the gravy
Okay.
a little bit. And it's still on reverse spoon. And I'm going to put the simmering basket on top so that it doesn't splatter.
Nice.
Okay, so we'll wait for the potatoes to cook and then we'll add in the
Coriander.
coriander. Correct.
And that is to be cooked for 2 minutes, correct?
Yes, just
Okay.
for 2 minutes to add flavor.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
So since we're on the topic of body positivity, I think it's also important to understand that food plays a very big part in your life and your diet. So there's this whole misconception behind, I guess, even with models, they often assume that models don't eat, that we have a really strict diet. There are certain types of food that we cannot eat, but it's actually quite the opposite. I always think it's important to give your body what it needs and what it wants. So if you're craving a specific dish or a drink or a dessert or whatever it is, you should acknowledge your body and give your body that, because life is so short, and I feel like there needs to be a proper understanding behind the term being confident and body positivity in itself. So even with food like this, despite I don't really eat that much meat, but even then, whenever I feel like having it, I will make sure that I do have it, because at the end of the day, if that's what I'm craving, I want to be able to give my body that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I
that's
feel
true.
like there's a lot of people who always they will tell you you must not eat this, you must not eat that, you must not do this, you must not do that. But I feel like at the end of the day, as long as you're doing everything in moderation, you'll be fine. So even if you do like eating fast foods and whatnot, of course, make sure to incorporate, daily exercises, little movements in your daily routine. At the end of the day, it's all about balance, and I think food plays a very big and crucial role in our lives.
That's true.
So if you're a foodie and you like eating, I would say go for it, and
Yeah,
pay
don't
no heed.
deprive yourself.
Yeah, and pay no
don't deprive
heed to what
yourself.
people say about
Yeah,
if people
just
make
do
comments.
what you think is good for you.
Yeah, correct.
And I think a lot of people actually are under the misconception
Correct.
that they must follow, I think a particular diet is good because this is how it will help me, etc. But everyone's body is different.
Correct. And then even if you are the type of person who prefers to eat healthy, there's so many recipes for you to choose from. There's 80,000
Yes.
recipes for you to
Yes,
choose
and
from.
Cookidoo has keto collections.
Correct.
It has
So
vegetarian
you're
collections,
basically spoiled with
etc.
options.
So you've got so many choices.
Yeah, correct. And like I said, I feel like it's really important to remember that if that's what you feel like eating, then just go for it. Don't think too much about it. Don't worry too much.
Yes. All right. So I'm
I think
just
we
going
should
to get
clean this up
yeah,
a bit, right? While the
get
food, while the
all this
potatoes
stuff
cook.
out of the way, and we'll sort it out.
Yay! We're done with the potatoes. Almost at the final step.
Almost at the final step. And now we're just going to add in the coriander. So you must be thinking it's a lot of coriander, right? But really does add to the taste of the mutton. Plenty of coriander. Okay. And do you realize how the spatula doesn't touch
Yeah.
the table? So that's another unique design from Thermomix. So this is just 2 minutes now, so you don't have to wait too long.
And this is also on Varoma?
Yes. So just 2 minutes on Varoma and reverse spoon. So it's just to stir the coriander into it, and then we can transfer it, and we'll be almost done.
I'm excited to try it, guys. It really smells so good, it looks so good. So should we prepare the table so that we can start plating?
We should.
Thank you.
Really pretty plate. Do you know Thermomix also has this really nice 4-piece luxury serving set?
No, I did not. Comes in a really nice box too.
Yeah, so we've got this amazing set.
Wow.
So we're going to use this to serve out our mutton.
Very nice.
Let's just get this one. Oh, tight. Fit it in. Just got a minute to go. And our mutton will be done and it's all set.
So remind me again, what is the reason that we use this?
Okay, so the simmering basket is to prevent splatter.
Okay.
Because if you notice when I lifted it up just a little bit just now, and you can see it all splattering. So it prevents splatter, but it also allows all the steam to evaporate.
Ah, okay.
So it's not contained. Yeah, it's not
Ah.
compressed. So it's more of a safety feature as well.
Okay.
To put the simmering basket on top.
Okay.
So anytime you're cooking above a certain temperature, the recipe will tell you put simmering basket.
Okay.
And then instead of the measuring cup, you put the simmering
And this
basket.
comes as a set with
It,
the Thermomix.
yeah, it's one
itself.
of the accessories
Okay.
that comes with the Thermomix. And the simmering basket is great for cooking rice, especially. I really love cooking rice with the simmering basket because it removes a lot of the starch in your rice. And you can use it for so many other functions as well.
And we're done.
We're done. So you can touch the screen to stop the sound. So I'm just going to take the simmering basket off. And voila!
Very nice.
So do you want to have a taste?
Yes, definitely.
We'll let you have a taste of one little piece.
Thank you.
It's hot.
It's still hot.
It's really, really hot. So be careful.
It smells really good though.
Does it smell like the one I cook at home?
Yeah, it does.
Always the same. That's the best thing about Thermomix. Every time you cook a recipe, because we have guided recipes in Cookidoo, every time you cook a particular dish, it will be exactly the same. No changes, no difference, and you don't have to worry. So when I cook for family or friends, even when I have visitors over, I am very confident with using a recipe that I have never tried before, but it's from Cookidoo, because our Cookidoo recipes are all triple tested, and I know it will work out the way it's supposed to.
It's really good and really flavorful, and I can tell the difference, especially after you added in the coriander, because you have that smell and that sort of taste
Flavor
to it,
of
that
the
flavor.
coriander. Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
And I like that it's not too spicy because, like you said, you can adjust the spiciness according
Yes.
to your liking. So
Yeah.
if you're someone who likes more spice, then you can add more
Up the spice, up the
chili powder and whatnot.
Yes, yeah.
Very nice. Let's plate it.
Sure. Okay.
Looks so good.
See, the potatoes don't get mashed up. The meat doesn't get mashed up with the reverse function. coriander looks really good in there. So as you can see, we have quite a large amount here. So it's more than enough for maybe even 8 people.
Nice. I think we're good.
Yep.
Your last few potatoes. So here, let me show you guys what it looks like. So, like I said, it honestly does taste really good. So I highly recommend trying this recipe.
Yes.
Especially since it's passed down from my grandmother. So thank you again, guys, for joining us today. I'm Sonia.
I'm Sunita. I hope you have enjoyed the tutorial. Do let us know once you try the recipe.
Yes, and a kind reminder, always remember to practice self-love, and most importantly, always show love, kindness, and compassion to everyone else around you. Bye, guys!
Bye!